Finally.
Yo! What's going
Yo.
on, guys? This is Grim Reaper. Finally, I say finally because a lot has happened before this release, but I won't tell you about it. I might though, maybe. In the meantime, though, we're here with this new video. Dang, I got my boy Steve here with me. What's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. Chilling.
Dang.
What's going on, chat niggas?
So we're working on this new video thing today. We're gonna be calling it "Get Jumped." We might do another one more, another session to see how the session goes first. But basically, we're gonna take 9 characters. And you're gonna pick 3. Those 3 are gonna be in a certain scenario, and their job is to protect you and keep you alive. So Steve was gonna go first, and the characters I think they're already on the screen. He chose Diane, Big Mom, and Rover. So the way we'll do it is that
Yeah.
we'll detail the scenario, and then it'll be Stebo, or it'll be my job to detail how I'll plan to kill Stebo using the remaining characters, and then it'll be Stebo's job to detail out how he'll stop that murder or how he'll stay alive using his characters. So detail out the scenario again, Stebo.
Hold on, repeat that.
You go ahead and drop the scenario again.
The scenario that I came up with,
Yeah.
and all the glory of my beautiful mind, I said that it's gonna be a whole cake chateau, Big Mom chilling. She contracted Deanne to do some renovations with her earth abilities and whatnot. And that nigga overgrown Rover is the guard dog, and he know that some niggas is coming, so he like arf arf niggas. Like we gotta fight niggas. And I believe that's exactly what I said.
All right.
So that's what we're going with.
All right, that's what we're going with then. All right, bet. So in the chateau, all right, I guess I go first. I gotta go first now. All right, so I got Strucin, Deep Sea, Gale Thunder, Garou, Gallon, and Doflamingo. Damn, this is gonna be hard. So where's Big Mom here? Like, give me the locations of people and shit like that. Like, where is niggas really?
Um, let's just say Big Mom is on the balcony of the 6th floor of the chateau.
All right,
Deanne is at the bottom, and so is Rover.
All right, bet. So, fuck. So we can get 2 or 3 different. All right. So we're gonna start off with we're gonna have Doflamingo coming up from the air, right? And then we're gonna have Deep Sea swimming in the rivers and shit leading to the chateau.
Ooh.
Then we're gonna have Strucin is gonna sit on Garou's back. Excuse me, no. Strucin's gonna sit on Gallon's back, and then Gale Thunder, and then Garou's gonna hop on Gale Thunder's back. So then Gallon, Strucin, Garou, and Gale Thunder are going to be the main attack force. So they're going to attack Diane or Rover from the front, right? They're going to make big ass commotion and shit like that. Come at Rover and draw Rover out, right? So Rover's going to come at them 4 niggas and shit like that. They're going to be going full speed and shit. While that's happening, they draw Rover out. Doflamingo's going to come from above and try and get a nice little sneak attack on Big Mom. Well, at the same time, Deep Sea from the pop up from under the river. And
he's trying to do that thing. Huh?
no, here's the tough part because I don't think
Okay.
Deep Sea is gonna beat Diane, and I don't think Doflamingo's gonna beat Big Mom. The problem
Well, you know that's not gonna happen. You know that's
yeah, we know that's not gonna happen. But I have to like separate them and beat them singly because I can't let them fight together. If they fight together, it's too crazy. Like, I don't want to give you any ideas, but yeah, if they fight together, it's too crazy. Gallon's a fucking beast. I don't think it's crazy to see Gallon, Garou, Gale Thunder, and Strucin deal some serious damage to Rover. But I think Rover, excuse me, I think Strucin might die, but we need him. I think Gale Thunder is likely to die, but he's very, very fast. He may be able to actually deal. Him and Gallon are the ones that are going to be dealing the most damage to Rover. Or the only ones dealing damage to Rover. Fuck. Gallon, Garou, Gale Thunder, in fucking Struzin versus Rover. You're gonna have to have that fight first, and then it's on the assumption that Doflamingo can. Fuck, she can fly too, bro. Fuck, I may have matched that up wrong. All right, but then Diane. Okay,
I think Dofi should have somebody with him, bro. Like
all right,
give a nigga some string wings or something.
Nah, we're gonna do that. We'll give Struzin to Dofi. So Struzin is on Dofi's back, and they're in the air, just sitting up there waiting and shit above the clouds, right above the chateau, just waiting for the attack to commence. And we got Galland, Gil Thunder, and Garou all speed blitzing towards fucking Rover or whatever, with Gad leading the way, and the Deep Sea King is swimming underwater. So. Fuck, bro. We need, bro. This too strong, bro. Why you pick these niggas, bro? We shouldn't have done this shit, bro. Like,
bro, it's 3 against 6, man. You gotta be able to figure out something. Like, come on, man.
Nigga,
then you got Struzin,
bro.
Use Struzin, bro. Think about it. Use that nigga.
All right, we're gonna start it off like this. So, fuck. All right. So Deep Sea is gonna start lifting the waves, right? Because whenever he came with his sea folk and the sea niggas or whatever, they came in a big ass huge wave and shit. So assuming that he was responsible for part of that, he's gonna do that. He's gonna make the river raise up, and then it's gonna draw Diane's attention. So she might look or draw away or whatever she does, but she'll be occupied for at least a minute, right? With Deep Sea. In that time period, Struzin and Doflamingo sweep down full speed. Whatever's gonna happen. Dofi's gonna send a clone first. This clone isn't necessarily like Q distinguishable. I don't have a reason to believe that Big Mom could actually figure out that it's a clone, but she's gonna attack the clone. It's gonna be evasive for like a few seconds. We only need to be a few seconds. In that time period, Dofi's gonna swing Struzin around with like a big ass fucking like yo-yo and shit, and throw him at the center part of the chateau. And he's gonna just pull his shit out, cut that bitch. Fing! And then,
wow,
yeah, yeah, nigga. And we ain't say nothing about Zeus, Prometheus, and Napoleon. Or did you want to make a stipulation on that?
I mean, shit, they there. Like,
damn, fuck, bro. That's cheating. That's cheating.
That's her power, bro. That's her power.
Cheating, bro.
Like,
no,
there's literally her soul. Like, I could understand if they was homies that she just made on the fly, but that's her. That's a part of her. So
I would rather deal with homies that she made on the fly, bro. Damn, bro. And there's no reason that you can't use that. Like,
of course you would.
damn, bro. All right. So, fuck, bro. This is gonna be fucking trouble. All right.
Hey, did that nigga just lay down? Like, it looked like he pulled the cover over himself. Like shit, I'm asleep. Like,
all right, so okay, so while all right, so yes, he's gonna swing Struzin to the side of the chateau. He's gonna cut that bitch and then start falling downward, right? So Big Mom's gonna be falling off the chateau or whatever, so like that. She's going down, and then the Dofi clone is gonna try to wrap her up, throw some like strings around that bitch, and tie her to the top of the chateau. In that meantime, I'm expecting Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon to try and like break the strings that are attaching her to the chateau, and that's when the real Flamingo comes in and actually uses his hockeyed up strings and is off white to turn the ground around them and like the gushy parts of the chateau or whatever into strings to try and like fend off Prometheus and Zeus and Napoleon using hockey and shit. At the same time, Deep Sea is supposed to be aware of what's going on. He's gonna be throwing like those water bullets at Prometheus and try and fuck him over. It's just kind of like Jinbei did, but it's gonna be a far away throw and it's super far away. I'm not sure how like there was some pretty good distance between the top of the chateau and the bottom of the chateau and where Diane should be. So like he may be able to reach him. Yeah. So I'll assume that like Cock Diesel he throwing some quarterback shit and Deep Sea gets those water bullets and starts throwing them at him fucking to help fuck over Prometheus and shit. But he doesn't need that because Flamingo using his hockey strings try and push it back or try and deal with Napoleon at least and shit. So. As it's coming down, the homies are having trouble protecting Big Mom and shit like that, and she's attached to the fucking building or whatever. And then that's when it slide back down over to Rover and shit. And fuck, bro, this is so hard, bro. Like, why did you have to get
Rover? Rover makes that plan almost impossible, even without Big Mom having to do anything. Because that nigga just he's acute. Like that nigga go be on point, and he got long range blasts that can like
bro.
blow up cities damn near.
Bro, he
Like
could literally
this nigga,
help Big
like
Mom
nah,
right now, bro. He could help Big Mom right now, bro.
like that nigga not letting an aerial assault go. Like it's not happening. And as strong as Doflamingo and Strucin are, I don't think they'll be able to defend off them blasts while also trying to attack Big Mom. So the fact that in your plan would insinuate that Big Mom is like even more incompetent than Oda betrayed her. Like I don't think she's just letting Doflamingo like tie her up to the chateau and just not doing anything. Because not only would that insinuate that she gonna let it happen in the first place, but it also implies that she wouldn't be able to do anything to get out of it. And if Luffy transforming into Gear 4 can break out of it, can break out of Parasite, then I would assume Big Mom in all her glory would be able to break out of that.
But it's
Like
not
being
Parasite.
encased
It's
in
like
off white.
it's
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like she'll be encased in like off white or whatever.
no. Fuck
Or
that. Bird
ever.
cage, nigga. That's what it is. We changing the plan up, nigga. What's fuck up, nigga?
Yeah, but wouldn't you argue that Fujitora would be able to counteract Birdcage in one way or another? Because
Big Mom ain't Fuji. She don't got gravity, bro.
but you don't think that Big Mom's physical power or the power that she's able to output would be at the very least comparable to Fujitora.
Definitely comparable.
So I would also assume that she would be able to counteract those strengths from Birdcage.
So what is she doing? Like she cutting through them? Like because we didn't see it get cut.
I think so, but I would assume that Fujitora could if he wanted to.
But he's like
that would be my assumption. Otherwise, then you would just have to say the Birdcage is omnipotent, or at least in the verse of One Piece.
I don't think it is.
Which is something that I don't think anybody would be trying to argue.
I've heard it argued before.
I think it's asinine, but but I've heard the argument, but never from somebody that's really sensible or trying to be sensible.
Fuck, bro. How did you manage?
Well, shit. I mean, I wasn't about to put myself at a disadvantage, and I wanted to make it as fair to me as possible because I mean it's gonna be 6 against 3, and when I think about the fact you got Strucin on your team, you got Deep Sea King who can make a very potent assault from the sea. Gil Thunder has lightning. That's always something that's difficult to deal with for anybody. Maybe not in this case because Big Mom also has control over lightning to some degree.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like you can make it seem like that, but Diane is a literal tank. Big Mom is a literal tank, and Rover is the like
definition of a tank. All of them are really
like they all have like they're all prominent in this season.
Especially Big Mom.
Like
it's crazy. But if I were you, I would actually utilize what Strucin did in the actual series. Like he turned Whole Cake Tattoo into a cake. And we saw how detrimental.
But he has to be cutting it though. So like if he tries to block Diane's Gideon, she has to be cutting. He has to be cutting it already, and then it'll turn into a cake.
I think, not to try to make an argument for you, but I guess that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I think that Strucin should be able to, at the very least, get a cutoff on the chateau.
What do you mean?
I could see a scenario where Strucin is able to get through to get one hit off. Like maybe because I know you said you didn't want to group everybody on your team together, but if they conceal him, like think about the assault on at the wedding, the way that they were able to conceal Luffy with a large number of clones made from Brûlée. And even then, they concealed Luffy, but Luffy wasn't even the one that was meant to be going to get the picture. It was Brook. And so you can think of a similar strategy to that. And I think that Strucin would be able to capitalize on that since it's 3 against 6. I think
Are we assuming that?
five five people would be able to make the diversion significant enough that they don't notice that Struzan is going towards the chateau. And if Struzan is able to take down the chateau in one hit, like we know that he can, then I think that would be detrimental to my side, even though I think that they would still be able to recover well enough. But
Well,
I think that's detrimental, though.
I was able to take down the chateau by like swinging him with Doflamingo strings and shit like that. But I could see the problem with what you said.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother strategy.
Yeah. But the problem with what you said is that like there's what are Big Mom and Diane doing? Like they also have long range shit that can like fuck with a diversion plan or like.
That's true, but would either of them really be able to decipher the strategy quickly enough to be able to stop Struzan from doing what he wants to do in that moment?
Well, you'd have to finish the strategy, but like, are we in agreement that like, if Struzan cuts something, he can turn it into food?
Well, yeah.
Is that anything? Like, if he cuts your throat, can he turn your throat into like jelly?
I think it has to be an inanimate object. Like, for instance, if he was able to land a blow on Deanne's Gideon, he'd probably turn it into a noodle. But I guess that would come down to how strong is the Gideon and could he actually damage it? Because I think he actually has to damage whatever he's cutting.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a cut is. So I guess that's kind of redundant to say that. But if he's able to cut something, then he can turn it into a food item.
The only reason why the chateau like falling would mean anything though is if it was solid. Because the reason why Big Mom was gonna be in danger is because of the fall, not because of the stuff falling on her. Like even the town itself was safe because it got turned to cake. That's how those people survived. Not just because.
Well, I'm not trying to say that it's going to be like danger, but it'll definitely be a detriment because it will cause confusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that in that confusion, that's something that you'll be able to take advantage of with the rest of the team.
I mean, I could theoretically start it to where like Gale Thunder and Deep Sea are gonna be swimming up on the river, and then they're gonna raise up a big ass tsunami and shit, electrocute that shit, and throw it at the fucking chateau. I'm expecting that Rover, Diana, Big Mom should be able to like. See, it's so hard, but there's no way to like truly isolate one without getting jumped by the other ones. Like you can't isolate Rover without Big Mom throwing Prometheus or throwing that big ass what was it? Sovereignty or
Ikaku sovereignty.
Yeah, Ikaku sovereignty, shit like that. Like that reached half the island, bitch. Like Gideon, what was it? Gideon, Mother Catastrophe. Like she can reach. You cheated. You cheated. That's what happened, bro. You cheated, dog. How?
Bro, if I would have gave you either one of these characters, it would have been a lot easier for you, and I didn't want that. So.
So, I mean, I could send Galen to hold off or to probably beat Diane. That's possible, depending on which Diane we're talking about. But I think current Diane is stronger than Galen.
Yeah, I think you have to be current Diane.
Yeah. Honestly, Garou could probably take on Big Mom and Rover. Like not to win, but like to last. To honestly fight them.
Yeah, I think he could last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like his endurance is crazy.
Yeah. So if I look at it like that, like in terms of like 1v1 matchups, and then look at everybody else as like as supplemental or support, and it does become a little bit easier, but like the scenario doesn't allow that. The scenario is like if they try to go in 1v1, there's no reason why you couldn't say that like before that happens, Big Mom's gonna jump down and like just jump them or some shit like that. Like it's gotta be convincing to where we hit them hard, there's confusion, and then 1v1's gonna happen. So we'll do that. We'll do some shit where like we'll have Gale Thunder drop lightning from the sky and Deep Sea King raise a tsunami and shit like that. So we'll start to get to the temperature and like the actual like the forecast getting kind of crazy and shit like that. That'll draw their attention for a second, and then with that we'll mix the two. We'll throw a lightning spout or some shit like that from Deep Sea King and Gale Thunder at Diane, and that'll be the assault. And then when that happens, we can all jump Diane or Yeah, have everybody jump Diane or whatever. Fall from the sky. Have Dofi have all the niggas on strings and shit like puppets. And then when Get Thunder and Deep Sea they come up from the water and shit, lightning spout hit Diane and shit in the chest. She flies back. It's the chateau. The chateau shakes. Big Mom's on the roof or whatever. She's like, "Oh shit, nigga, what's going on?" And then Rover like hears the wave, hears the flash, and prepares to come over. Prepares to come and come over and help and shit like that. And in that instance, you just have them all jump Diane. You have Dofi come with his off white. You have Gallon come with his like critical over shit to come and cut her head off. You have Struzin. He throws Struzin at the Gideon and just have him just like just trying to top that.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, probably most effective shit would be like Gallon's off white, or Gallon's critical over in the off white. I think he should be able to cut Diane's throat. You think he can do that?
Not if she uses heavy metal.
I give up. Bro. Yeah. I forgot. Bro. This is ridiculous, bro. Not only can I not choose Big Mom, Diane has heavy metal, bro. She was gonna be the most vulnerable one tonight. Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, it's unfair. And you also consider that she can manipulate Diamond as well. Like,
oh, that's right. Yeah,
she's crazy. And we know for a fact that nobody in the One Piece verse, except for maybe Mihawk, maybe to be revealed at some point, will be able to cut Diamond. Like it's a test to cut Diamond for the very strongest person in One Piece. And Struzin isn't the very strongest person in One Piece. So we know that he wouldn't be able to cut Diamond.
Yeah. You think fuck. Dofi probably wouldn't be able to cut it either, huh? Nah. Damn, man.
Nah. I don't think so.
You would think that mixing Gallon, because Gallon, like maybe we're underestimating Gallon's like no. Yeah, I disagree with you with that critical over shit. Because Gallon was cutting mountaintops, remember? Up against Escanor?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure that she can just tank that. But
you don't think so?
It becomes an issue with scaling because like we don't necessarily know who was who or what was what, and different people had different feats like at different time periods. Like I remember Matrona's what is it called? Full metal or what is it called?
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Matrona's heavy metal was much more powerful than Diane's at first, but then supposedly Diane improved upon past that. And I think Gallon was around that time period when he encountered the heavy metal which was against Matrona. So maybe her heavy metal, yeah. If we're using end of series Diane, then yeah, her heavy metal is stronger than Gallon's.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in her reduced state, when they were fighting Chandler, she used heavy metal to fend off one of his attacks, didn't she?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, damn, that's that big one.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, she definitely did. Damn, and this is a weakened form, like that.
It was a magical attack. What was the attack?
That's crazy. I forgot the name of it, but it's definitely a magical attack. It's the one where it looked like he like summoned in the top half of a magical sight. Like she used that to protect Elizabeth, and she was like in a chibi state, which is crazy to think about. So unless you can make an argument that that Kalan is similar in strength to Chandler, then I think it's a lost cause.
I think Gallon can tank a Rover Blast.
A Rover Blast?
Yeah. Multiple.
I think it just depends. I think up to a certain point it would be too much for him. Because of course one blast is probably like town level, city level if we highball it. But a volley of Rover Blast, I don't think so. Because I think
Garou tanked 1 point blank.
Yeah, but that's Garou. I would say Garou is stronger than Galan. Oh, you don't think so?
Bro,
You don't think so?
you don't remember Gallon feats, bro? Gallon outsped Merlin's magic. She tried to like send him away.
You're right. You're right. I'm tripping.
Gallon was cutting mountaintops. Then he
I'm wild.
yeah, over like
Yeah.
Gallon versus Rover is a fight, but nah, bro.
That's a fight. That's a fight. Yeah.
Like
I'm sleep.
Yeah, there's not very many niggas in one punch that have like matched or even come close to like Gallon's like destructive force. Like that's Saitama, not Saitama range, but like they're going into that like above dragon shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. You're right. But did Garou tank one or did he tank a volley?
He tanked 2 point blank.
2 point blank. Okay. And did he like tank it or was it something that he was able to push through? Because when you say tank, I'm thinking like he was able to take it and it wasn't really too much visible damage.
Both. One day he was standing there, he got fucked over, and he's just standing there bloody and shit with his eyes black. And then the caption is saying, "I can't run away." The iconic like "I can't run away" phrase or whatever. So and he was standing up after it, like, and he just took off running to dodge the volleys right after that shit. So yeah, it's hard to distinguish between pushed through and tanked, but I would more so say he tanked that. But yeah, that was.
But it definitely did something to him, though, right?
No, like he died, bro. Like that was a feat. He was supposed to die. Like the panel right before it, you would get like it's just him. All the quotes of him saying his thoughts right before his death and shit like that. Like, oh shit, am I really gonna die? I don't want to die. Like I'm so scared. Like oh man, like so soon. Shit like that. Like, he thought he was gonna die, and then.
So it's really an endurance feat more than anything. Okay. All right. So Galan, I think he definitely would tank a Rover Blast because you reminded me that Galan really ain't nothing to play with when it comes to these cross battles.
You think?
So yeah.
You think Garou could take a hit from like Diane's hammer?
Nah. Not at this point.
Fuck.
Especially considering Mother Catastrophe. And that was early at the end.
Yeah,
that was like 20, 30 chapters. Like
what's it called? That like that spike that comes out. She did it up against Dreyfus. It's like
I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Ground Gladius.
Yeah.
Ground Gladius, yeah.
That shit. That'd be pretty fucking
crazy.
Yeah.
And Dreyfus blocked that, huh? I almost picked Dreyfus.
That's that nigga, bro. That's that nigga, man.
Yeah, that's that nigga for real. Like, don't sleep on Dreyfus.
Yeah, nah. And I only picked Gil Thunder because we saw him more, bro. We saw a lot more of him.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Nobody else can really like. So Garou, Big Mom, Gallon, Rover, Struzin, Doflamingo, Gil Thunder, and Deep Sea up against Diane. Like, Dofi can fly around and use his strings for shit, and they're pretty fucking fast, actually. They should be able to cut her. But, like, her ability to put on heavy metal, it just depends on how quickly and how aware she is. Like, if she's dealing with bullets from Deep Sea King, and, like, Gil Thunder's, like, flying up and down around her and shit like that, trying to cut her with his lighting or whatever, like. But at the same time, early in Tai's eye, his lightning wasn't able to do anything to her. Like, the gloves that she has on in the picture, like, all his lightning served to do was, like, just to burn that. And, like, she, like, threw him across and hit him whatever. So, I have no doubt she can take a lot of his lightning. Like, a lot of his lightning. But the off-white strings, like. Nah, you remember that time where she was spinning the big the guillotine behind her, shit like that, like a big ass circle and shit. Yeah, like she probably pretty agile with that shit, bro. I don't know if like Off White can really like. But at the same time, like Luffy was having to push full speed for that shit, bro. Like he was flying around trying to avoid that Off White shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we may be underestimating Dofi low key.
Maybe so. I'm of the belief that it's a lot more nuance that's required to scale a guy like Dofi. But and the reason being is because Oda doesn't really put too much stock in defining characters' abilities. Like for instance, with Birdcage, I think there was like, and this is like next level headcanon. I
Mm-hmm.
think that there was some inspiration taken from the principles of Nin from Hunter x Hunter, where it's like there had to be a trade off for him to be able to use something so potent. Like nobody could do anything to Birdcage, right? Up to a certain level. And I think there must have been a reason for that. I don't think that it's just like Dofi could just go around and be like Birdcage and still be able to fight to full capabilities. Like you know what I'm saying? I think that's why he seems so unbeatable early on in the arc. But once you get to the point to where he's using Birdcage, it's like people are landing hits on him. Well, not people, because the only people that was really fighting him was um Luffy and Law. But Luffy and Law are able to do much better against him at that point than they were earlier. Because if you remember, when Dofi and Luffy first encountered one another, Dofi punched him in the face and sent him flying outside of his castle like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And then when
Right.
Law was fighting him earlier, he was getting absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
And people like to mention that. Of course, I wouldn't want to write off the fact that Fuji was involved in that, and Law had to use a lot of his stamina at first to get away from him and Fuji. But even once he was still fighting Doflamingo, you see he has his room active, but he can't do anything to Dofi. And I like to attribute that to the fact that, well, not the fact, but the reasonable conclusion that Doflamingo's hockey is stronger, because we learned from Punk Hazard when Smoker says that Tashiki's hockey wasn't strong enough to stand up to Law's hacksness. So Law has to get creative when he's fighting people who have hockey strong enough to counteract the hacksness of his fruit, right?
Well, then that
But
makes.
a guy like Doflamingo has stronger hockey, and he's faster, and he knows about Law's devil fruit, so he has that upper hand. And he's also more of an experienced combatant than Law would be, because he got like 20 years on of life experience. So I think that like what Law did against Smoker, how he used like how he brought the rock out
Yeah.
from the ground
Yeah.
to like, but basically as a diversion,
Mm-hmm.
so Smoker wouldn't see his hand as he was coming to take his heart out.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't be able to pull something like that against Dofi
Yeah, he'd be
because
aware. Yeah.
because Dofi's aware, he's faster than him, and like he would be able to grab his hand. Like you remember when in the fight on top of the Doflamingo's castle, like Law tried to pull something similar to that against Doflamingo, but Doflamingo grabbed his hand, and that's when we get to the moment where he holding him up
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
when he was flying. He was suspended in midair. Like Law tried something similar when he was trying to like come at Dofi like that, but Dofi grabbed his hand and he gave him the speech or whatever, and he like cut his arm off. Like so I think it's a lot more nuance that needs to be applied to looking at Doflamingo as a fighter than
I,
what people want to look at it as.
if you remove the bias, bro, I can agree with you 100%. Like the fact that like the BDA community like he's super hyped up on Dofi, so like kind of makes you like be a little bit standoffish about it and just kind of just contradict Robert's opinion sometimes. But like, bro, Dofi, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. He was Dressrosa was an arc. Put it like that.
He was a problem.
Dressrosa was a fucking arc. The Tontada shit was dumb, but like, it's like what niggas say about Kita in part 4 of JoJo. Like, they say that Kita made the entire part. Like, he only showed up for like the last like 6 to 8 episodes, I believe. Like, and he made the entire part. Like Dofi, like, don't get me wrong, the other components are amazing.
It was more than that. It was more than the 6 to 8, but like it was like maybe the halfway point of that part.
Yeah. Because he was on some mysterious shit for a while. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he's just such a well-rounded character, and like the part that worked so well for Dofi is that like Oda was able to implement his powers into the storyline. So like the bird cage. Like it was a literal physical depiction of like what was really going on in Dressrosa. Like they were trapped in there. Like that's
Yeah,
like it's a tyranny. Like all the different things that he went through, like using his powers to like control the civilians there and make them attack people. Like how many One Piece draft matches were inspired because of Doflamingo's like usurpation of Dressrosa. Like it was a great storyline, and how he used his powers is so unique and so crazy. I agree. Like there's a large variety
it's
for it.
crazy.
Like yeah, niggas push that whole diversity point whenever talking about like Doflamingo's powers or whatever. But like
I don't think Oda get enough credit for how he can craft narratives, honestly, because the way you're breaking it down right now is it's ridiculous. Like everything that's come from that, it's crazy,
like it's like
and that's not even the only arc where he's been able to do that. Like
yeah, a lot of
it's
them are
crazy.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
shit, bro. The Skype shit was fucking badass too. Like yeah, I was
crazy.
oh
Like
yeah,
I was just saying on Twitter the other day, like that flashback,
yeah.
Nolan and Calgara, that's my favorite flashback of all time in anything. Like that's my favorite flashback.
That was a good one, bro. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like, but what is that diversity gonna do up against fucking Big Mom?
yeah. She's a whole nother beast. Like, like yeah, everything that he did, she did it the right way. Like, like she built the country from the ground up, literally. And he had to come and take something that I guess you could say was his, but he had to take it and did it the most vile way that you can imagine by turning the population against the king, by
It's a king.
literally forcing the king to kill his own people to save us, and have this guy who, you know, was the rightful heir if you go back and trace the lineage. But at the same time, it's like, come on, son,
Yep.
you could have did a little better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro.
But he took what was his, so he is what he is, I guess.
I think that's really about it, bro. Like, I can't win. Like Garou will lose to both Big Mom and Diane and like Diane will really be. I low key I have more stock in Diane than a lot of these guys, bro. Like the same thing you're talking about diversity for Dofi. Diane was so diverse in her abilities, more diverse than
It's
Meliodas.
crazy.
Yeah, bro, more diverse than half of them, bro. Like popping shit on the ground, different structures, the golems. What was it like? Fucking surfing on rocks and shit like that. Fucking the powers of Gideon. What was the power inside of Gideon and shit too? What else? Heavy metal, ground gladius, mother catastrophe. The diamond shit she did, lifting all the fucking diamonds to fucking to catch the demon king. Her variety of attacks, like the techniques she had, they were so bad. It was the way they did the animation too for Ties out part 1, like having the attack names come down like that, sliding down. It looks so badass. It hit a pose, she do something like she was so badass with it, bro.
I love that effect that they had on there.
Hell yeah, dog. All right, well I think I got the hiccups and shit, so we'll close this out with that. I guess the next section we'll either like choose the same 9 guys and then get a different matchup, and I'll do it, or we may pick different guys.
I think we should talk about the series that we're seeing, so we could probably expand it a little bit and probably try to make it a little more balanced. Because like making it so somebody could pick like 3 characters that are just that much stronger than the rest of them. Like even if it is 6-on-3, like it's just way too overpowered.
Rover alone can give them a tough fight, bro.
Yeah. And that's crazy. And it's true. Like it's ridiculous.
All right, y'all. That'll be it for this one. We're expecting the chapter to drop tomorrow, so if you guys want to check that out and support the channel, fuck am I saying, bro? These hiccups got me messed up. The link is in the description if you want to support the channel for the Discord and
A One
Patreon.
Punch Man chapter tomorrow.
Yeah, we don't know when it's gonna come out, but there's no warning or anything like that. But it didn't come out Friday. It didn't come out last Monday, and I want to say like a week ago, or a week and 3 days. He said that he was working on the chapter. So I
I don't know if you're cutting out of it or if it's me. Well, I mean, I guess it really don't matter too much. We're about to end it.
Yeah, but yeah, my thing is saying that I'm having errors too, bro. Yeah. All right, we'll end it here though. Yo ho!